Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, here is your tarot reading for the week ahead. Have you lost faith? Are you holding back? Are you pushing away things that otherwise would serve you? These are going to be important questions for you throughout the month of Gemini. We start off on a really, really fantastic note in combination of the Nine of Cups, the Lord of Satisfaction, and the Queen of Pentacles. This feels a very centered, still, happy, content energy. We have the Nine of Cups, which is the trophy room, can be very pleased with themselves, just feeling as though we have it all, just feeling actually don't need to adjust anything, don't need to touch anything. It all feels fine and dandy, something that is very much echoed with the Queen of Pentacles. You can see that she's looking down at her pentacles, just looking satisfied, pleased. Strong themes around the home, strong themes about being in nature, strong themes about being outside in the world and not feeling as though I need to adjust that much, feeling content, feeling settled in many ways, and that might be a bit of a welcome relief for some of you. I can really picture the sign of Aquarius just very contentedly pouring from the water jug while the rest of the world is perhaps in chaos. But as we well know, with Aquarius, is often mistaken as a water sign. It's not, it's an air sign, because they like to contain the emotions. And for the beginning part, as we enter into Gemini season, those emotions perhaps feeling very much in control, feeling very still, feeling as though they don't need much of a demand of our attention. You can feel a but coming, and here it comes, because we have the Hierophant reversed here in the middle of your reading. And to me, that very much indicates a loss of faith, a loss of trust. I don't quite know where that comes from. It may be an event, it may be an exchange with another person, or it may very well just be a creeping feeling. Often when we feel that things are very even and very steady, that they're going to kind of last forever. And as we know, the only constant is change. And this is not me trying to be a Debbie Downer or rain on your parade in any shape or form. Certainly, of all the readings that I've done thus far, your opening cards look about some of the best. That's not to say that the ones at the end are bad by any means, but it just starts very much on a positive note. And then there's this slight wiggle. It's the only way I can describe it. There's this slight kind of focus and point of contention, really. And that feels more of a spiritual nature. So it's not about arguments. It's not about, you know, there suddenly being a leak in the home. It doesn't feel as material as that, or of the world as that. It feels very much more of an internal dialogue, or a dialogue that is with the universe, with the divine, however you want to express it. And there may just be this loss of faith, this crisis of faith is the words that I was looking for. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. For a lot of the signs, Gemini is representing things being shaken up. And for Aquarius, it's not so much that, but it feels more of a kind of constant and then a dip. And what is required of you is, how are you going to recalibrate that dip? How are you going to get yourself back onto an even keel? As we well know, if we get too comfortable, that can sometimes lead into complacency. We can think, oh, you're just tootling along, you're bobbing along, and it feels fine. And the universe wants that for us. It can't always be chaos. It can't always be a case of having to roll up our sleeves and get stuck in. We are meant to be afforded those points of respite and those points of satisfaction. Life is to be enjoyed. It is to be pleasurable. So there's nothing to indicate that you're doing anything wrong by any means, but the good times can only last so long. And then we need to go, right, okay, how we've got this dip, how do we bring ourselves back into an even keel? The words that are kind of coming into mind, and this is a little over-egged, but it's almost death and rebirth. Now, it's not as violent or grandiose in that way by any means, because the only card that you have that's a major arcana is the Hierophant in the middle of the reading. So it's less intense as that, but it does. I keep being shown this image, I don't quite understand it, but almost walking along a mountaintop, sliding down, and then having to climb your way back onto the next plateau and move forward. And it's that process of the dip that actually is perhaps the most exciting or the most enlightening or the most necessary part of your journey over the next 30 or so days. Loving your Tarotscope so far? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so that you never miss a reading. Drop your favourite emoji or share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. And check out the pinned comment below to find your rising and moon signs for a full 360 view of your season ahead. You'll also find a quick link to sign up for email alerts, so you're always in the loop when a new Tarotscope drops. Now let's get back to your reading. I don't normally like to put strict timelines onto things, but it's quite given that it seems to indicate that for the first 2 weeks, it will be relatively plain sailing. There won't be too many disruptions. So really just relish that. As I said right at the beginning, spend time outdoors, spend time in nature, spend time just luxuriating in the pleasures that your home particularly and your immediate environment affords you. Then we have this slight dip, this slight kind of wobble. And that is continued with the Seven of Wands. And this is where I said, are you pushing back, or are you not allowing yourself to receive kind of advice or guidance around other people? As we well know, Aquarius is a very independent star sign, so they like to do things in their own way. They don't like to be told what to do, dare I say. I have Moon in Aquarius. So they like to arrive at things in their own time, in their own way. That also may indicate part of the energy of the Hierophant in reverse, because the Hierophant has this ability to pontificate and share truths. When it's reversed, it can get very dogmatic. So you may find, as a bit of an overriding theme, that you're quite resistant. It's just those moments that people start giving unsolicited advice. It slightly makes you bristle, roll your eyes, and slightly pull away. Not for me to say that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I would recommend just stay slightly receptive over Gemini. Stay kind of open and see what it is you are reacting to. What it is that, I don't normally like this word, but what is triggering you? What are the things that seem to slightly kind of poke you in the side, so to speak, because there's probably real value within that. There are things to be discovered and understood through that. But I don't know why necessarily. The only thing that I keep getting stuck on in this reading is, what is this crisis of faith about, this loss of faith about? That may be within you, that may be in regards to the kind of world at large. And that will be a momentary blip, is what I was trying to say. I would just slightly guard against, because you're very independent, because you're unique and you relish in your own uniqueness, Aquarius, there is sometimes a temptation to withdraw. And as we're in the sign of Gemini, which is more about sociability and community, communication and working with others, it's to lean into that more rather than pull away from it. That's the only adjustment I would say that is needed to be made. But what's lovely to see with the Page of Pentacles at the end, it's almost as though you're rediscovering things anew, afresh. So it's this point that you slip down the mountain and get back on it, it will bring with it a new sense of appreciation, a new sense of joy. I see the Queen of Pentacles with the pentacle in her lap, and the Page of Pentacles seeing the pentacle for the first time. For me, it's the same pentacle. It's not necessarily about new opportunities, new things coming in, new money, new kind of expansion necessarily. It's appreciating what you have in a new way. So even after this 2-week period that you suddenly feel a bit frustrated, feel a bit disillusioned, feel a bit vexed is the word that comes in. There's a vexation, and this points towards the fickleness of Gemini season anyway. Sometimes they can be one way and then another. There is a sense of polarity that sometimes happens. So it's almost that things flit. They turn in on themselves, and then suddenly what had brought you pleasure, you're feeling frustrated by, but then you rediscover it and re-engage with it in a new way. So don't be surprised by the end of Gemini season if you find yourself, as I mentioned, rediscovering people, hobbies, activities, objects that you thought, oh, I haven't thought about this for a while. Oh, actually, I love this. Clothes in the back of your wardrobe, whatever it may be. But it's about cultivating this new sense of appreciation. So it's really lovely to see. Does that help? Does that resonate? Let me know in the comments below. As ever, if you want to learn more about the tarot, be sure to go and check out my video library where I'm exploring each of the major arcana in turn, giving you insights as to the energies of each card so you can read for yourself. So be sure to go and check them out. But otherwise, I shall see you next time. Have a wonderful Gemini season and see you then. Bye for now.